Hello, Masters Awakening, and welcome to your introductory video on deep tissue cleansing. All right, so in this video, I'm simply here to give you a little overview of why I'm going to be going into such a deep exploration of deep tissue cleansing and the kind of ground rules that I want to lay for this deep tissue cleansing work, because it can be tricky and it can be tedious, and we do need to be wise about how we approach this, okay? So the first things first is this. In every ancient mystery school, in every time before, any wisdom, in Egyptian culture, in Greece, in Rome, anytime there was really powerful knowledge and really powerful wisdom that was wanting to be shared and expressed, there was an intuition and a knowing that the physical body needed to be cleansed first. Okay. So this is the foundations for why we do deep tissue cleansing, is that we understand that the physical vessel is the conductor for the information that powers life. Remember, life generation is simply new information. Information provided through experience is what generates life. The physical vessel that we are all inhabiting is here to be evolved through carrying a consciousness. The consciousness that we are is here to be evolved through having a physical experience. So the body and the spirit that you are, the body that you inhabit and the spirit that you are the greatest version of law of attraction that exists. It's these two components of life that are evolving each other through the experience of being with each other. Okay? So again, the body is facilitating the spirit having a physical experience. So that is new information, new experience. It's evolving the spirit. The spirit is allowing the physicality to evolve by infusing it with consciousness, which is a new experience. So the body and the soul are evolving together. The body is evolving the soul is evolving the body. As we evolve, what we're really saying is that we are incorporating more information into the structure of who and what we are. Okay? Our soul is becoming more complex through the addition of information via experience. The body, the vessel itself, is becoming more complex, ordered, structured, as it has an experience being the host of an evolved soul. So every single time we take in new information, we are essentially asking the body to conduct a higher level of energy. That's what energy is. It's information. And the body is conducting. It is holding and conducting. It is the vessel by which the soul evolves through the acquisition of information that allows it to become more complex. So the body is evolving, the soul is evolving, and as we have these experiences, these two things hold more and more and more energy. Now, in order for this to happen, two things need to be happening. The body must become more conductive. The more energy the body can conduct, the more the channels of the body are open, the more information we can receive. Second thing that has to happen is the body needs to become more integral. The structure of the body needs to become stronger so that it can hold more energy. So it needs to be able to conduct and hold more energy. Otherwise, we can go on an awakening experience. We can go trying to get enlightened. We can do all of this mental gymnastics, all this work in the mental field, which is drawing energy to the spirit, which is infused into every single cell So you see where we're going with this. We're asking the spirit to take on all this new information. We are at the same time asking the body to take on this new information because the body holds the spirit. Your cells, every single one of your cells is animated by your soul. Your soul is completely infused into your body. It's not just in your head. Consciousness is in every single cell, which means if you're trying to expand your consciousness, you're going to be asking your physical body to hold and conduct more energy. This is why when we don't cleanse, when we don't bring the body with us, yes, we can get all this consciousness and it fries the body. We get sick, we die, we blast our consciousness out of the body. Most of the time we get sick, we have a stroke, we do all these things because we have not increased the conductivity and the structure of the vessel enough for it to hold what the consciousness can hold. And then this is also why we just forget. Why we do all this work to raise our consciousness and then we can't do it. We still just return to our lower stuff because the body couldn't hold it. We couldn't hold that information. This is a lot of the time why we learn spiritual things and we understand concepts but we can't live them out because the body can't hold it. Okay? This is why we do deep tissue cleansing. We're acknowledging that the physical vessel needs to become more conductive and more integral in order for the consciousness to expand because the consciousness is infused into every single cell. And if every single cell has consciousness and we're asking the consciousness to expand, every single cell must be able to expand. So we need to remove blockage to flow and restore and increase integrity of the tissue. That's what this is. We are understanding that there is no separation between the physical self and the spiritual self. They are infused into each other, and so if we want to expand one, we must expand the other. If we're not going to expand the other, one is not going to be able to expand in this body. Okay, so this is why this deep tissue cleansing path is integral for the awakening of consciousness. If the body is not facilitating the journey, there's only so far we can go in the body before we blast ourselves out or get ourselves sick, or before the body just can't hold it anymore and we have all this information we feel like we get in our head, but we can't live it out. Okay? That's what this is. At the same time, we must honor and respect deeply that each of us are individuals with individual bodies that have individual histories and that is a part of the journey. This is why the deep tissue cleansing stuff has no dogma. It has no, this is the diet for everybody. This is what everybody should be doing. We need to be working really hard and all of us on this. No. Because we are each individuals who are having individual awakening experiences, meaning it's going to look different for everybody. It's going to look different for everybody. And we must make this path serve us rather than us thinking we have to serve the path somehow. Okay? Deep tissue cleansing is here to serve you. You are not here to serve it. You are not here to try to live up to some ideal or theory that we think is right for any reason. We are here to honor where the body actually is at, where the consciousness actually is at, and to increase conductivity and structure one step at a time. Okay? So we increase conductivity by removing blockage. We're going to be working to remove blockage. This is where the deep tissue cleansing part comes in. Okay? We're going to be working to awaken the toxic materials that are lodged into the tissues and cells that are blocking the full functioning of the cells and the tissues, blocking conductivity, causing illness. That's where all illness starts, okay? All illness starts from constipation. We're going to get into this in 2 videos from now, but we're just going to briefly touch on it now. We're removing the blockages so that there's more conductivity. And at the same time, We're working to strengthen the tissue. So this is not about stripping the body. This is not about just get rid of everything. We are at once working to increase integrity while we remove blockage. Strengthening and removing, strengthening, removing, strengthening, becoming more conductive. So if we do not approach this with the utmost self-love, meaning exactly where I'm at is exactly where I'm supposed to be. This is where I am on the path. I honor this place. I honor where I'm at, and I'm going to take one step at a time from where I'm at. If we don't do that, we will burn ourselves out. We will hurt ourselves, and this path will not work. Okay? This is not a diet. This is not a strict eating regime. This is not a dogma. This is not a theory. This is not this is how it's supposed to look on everyone at all. Meaning, if any of the advice that is given about how to eat or how to live feels like massive struggle, okay? You're white knuckling to get yourself to do it. Or it feels like you can do it for a couple of days when you're all excited and then you fall off and you eat the chocolate bar or you eat the cake or you eat whatever and you're like, oh gosh, I messed it up. No. What you say from there is, okay, that's my level. I need to figure out a way of integrating the chocolate or the cake into the current lifestyle that I'm living so that I can learn from it. Okay, so this is what we're really, the foundations of this is this. Where we are at is exactly what we need to learn right now. So whatever it is that we're addicted to, whatever it is that we have in our diets or in our lifestyle that we know is not serving our regeneration, we first approach it with, it's supposed to be there. I need it. It's there for a reason. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to fight with that thing. I'm going to leave that in. I'm going to do all the other things that feel normal and natural. Okay? This is always going to be what it is. I take on the things that are presented to me that feel normal, natural, like my next step. This is going to make you become aware of the things that don't feel like that. Yeah? The chocolate bars and all these things. As you become aware, you do not try to white knuckle get rid of these things. You make room for them. You make room for the idea that they are supporting you in some way. They are there for a reason. You need them right now. And you work with it from this self-love place. So any binging or any eating things that we know don't serve us, it doesn't matter. We embrace it as part of the path, something that we need right now, and we love it wholeheartedly to understand why we're doing that. Okay? So we need to understand everything we do has a positive intention. Anything. So even the things that we do that we think are causing us weight gain or causing us to eat things we know we shouldn't eat or do things we know we shouldn't do, those are not bad things. Those are things you need right now. Because here's the second part. As we cleanse, we become more aware. And what we're always going to become more aware of, because we live in a separated, fallen world, is our pain and our suffering. And most of us do not have the tools, do not have the strength, do not have the capacity to completely deal with all of our pain and our suffering right now. Because where does pain and suffering come from? Opposition to self and opposition to life. Most of us are not going to wake up tomorrow completely able to radically change absolutely everything in our life that we're doing that's opposing life and opposing ourselves. That's not going to happen. Not at all, because that would be radical. You see, we're suffering because we're out of alignment with who we are. We're supposed to be. That's what's expanding consciousness. We're not going to wake up tomorrow and be able to get rid of or, align all the parts of ourselves. We're not. So as we cleanse, most of the time we're not going to feel better emotionally. We're going to feel worse because we need to understand that it's in eating the foods that we eat and having the clogged system that we're actually blocking our own awareness of our pain, the pain we don't know how to deal with. So this deep tissue cleansing is facilitating an awakening of your consciousness to where you're out of alignment with yourself and where you're out of alignment with the laws of reality, so that you can see where your suffering is coming from, and then you can make changes within yourself and in your reality so that you align with the structure. which is mostly coming into alignment with who you are as an individual. That's what this is. But in order for that to happen, we have to become aware of where we're out of alignment, which is going to be painful. So this is why we do this slowly. We do not blast ourselves into this like super light fruitarian juice fasting diet, because all that's going to do is open your awareness to a whole bunch of stuff that you feel and have no idea what it even means, what to do with it, how to handle it. It's like going on ayahuasca, blasting open your consciousness and having no idea what to do with it. It's not helpful. We want to awaken our consciousness one step at a time. One step at a time so we can deal with the information we're handed and then build upon it. That's how this works. It's the exact same way with cleansing. We do it one step at a time and we build upon where we're at. We don't have a goal of where we're going and try to get there today. We let go of that. We say exactly where I am today, I'm going to do one step more. Just one step above where I am. Okay? So this is the foundations of this. You need to be responsible with yourself. That any information that's given that feels constricting, that feels tight, that feels hard, that you feel like you have to use discipline to do, you don't do. That's not your next step. Your next step is going to feel a little challenging. It's going to bring up a little new awareness. It's going to bring up a little discomfort. It's going to be uncomfortable, but it's going to be doable. It's going to be the next logical step. So if you're eating a standard American diet, becoming fruitarian is not your next logical step. If you eat chocolate every single day, I'm never going to eat chocolate again, is not your next logical step. If you're trying to reduce your calories to be systematically under eating, but you still eat 3,000 calories a day, that's not your next logical step. We need to acknowledge where we're at and take it one step at a time. So this is the thing. In this work, we must be radically humble, radically honest about where we're at, and make none of it wrong. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you my whole journey, where I came from. I think that's what I'll do in the following video, so that you can get a context of my life, in that this was no perfect unfolding for me, and isn't. And I'm not perfect. I'm not at any ideal. I am on the path. I'm on the journey just like everybody else. And the reason that I have had such good results is because I don't do dogma. I don't do anything that should be. If something is really hard for me, I don't do it. If something is a big struggle, I don't push myself for it. I have allowed my body to lead the way, and this is why I've been so successful. Okay? It is so much about embracing where we're at and doing one level above. Okay? So this is my introduction to deep tissue cleansing. We have to approach it as though this is a path we're going to be on forever. There is no end goal. There is no place we're going to get to. There is no after. This is not about weight loss. This is not about weight gain. This is not about how we look. This is not about that. This is about increasing the conductivity and the integrity of the vessel so that the consciousness can expand. This is about increasing the conductivity and the integrity of the vessel so that our experience within the vessel can be more joyful and more eternal. This is what we're doing. We're evolving the body and evolving the consciousness together. We're not doing just one or just the other. We're doing them simultaneously. We're understanding that as we clear the body, we're going to be awakening the consciousness, which is going to make us more responsible. We're going to have to do things in our lives. It's going to bring things to the surface that we were able to numb and distract ourselves with through the blockage, which means we're going to have to do something about it. So we want to awaken one step at a time. You don't want to wake up tomorrow and see everything in your life that is going to be required for you to come into complete alignment with yourself. You don't want that. And you're going to see that if you follow it this way, every single step feels good. This whole thing should feel good. So if it's not feeling good, take a step back, okay? So in the next video, I have our first guest lecture with Michael Perrine, and we're going to talk about the big picture of this cleansing stuff, and then after that, we'll start getting into it, okay? But this is my intro. This is integral work if we want to truly awaken. We take the body with us. We take both. It's about both, okay? But we do it with love, patience, and one step at a time. All right.